Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel Evolve with Monette. It is so good to have you guys back and joining me today. So we're going to get right into it. The title of the video, which is about signs that you've found your calling. So one of the things that happened for me along my journey is that I had a lot of questions about whether or not I was on the right path. And many years ago, a friend and I had a really in-depth conversation, metaphysical friend and I, about what that would look like and what that would feel like. And some of you are just beginning your spiritual journey. Some of you have been on it for a long time. But no matter what, you know that you hear the call and you know that maybe stepping away from a more traditional role is what's best for you. Now, especially in this time of pandemic where we were forced to create a new normal, there is this energy of wanting to understand fully how we move forward and if transitions should be made while we have the opportunity. We've discovered a whole new way to work, right? So for those of you that may have been asking about this just to yourself and asking for a little bit of guidance, we have the guidance today. Signs that you have found your calling. So the first thing that you will realize, mind me with my handy dandy notes here, you will realize that you've been training for this since birth. And what I wrote down is that even the gritty things, the disappointments, the regrets, the screw ups have all been preparation for a major life shift. So these disruptions and failures were all just teaching you essential lessons so that you can be who you are called to be. I know along my journey, I worked jobs in corporate America. I have been a teacher. There are many things professional caterer and chef, all of these things I am able to pull from as I do the work that I do currently with my clients. I am able to expand and I'm able to grow and I'm able to reach people because of a lot of these failures, mishaps, or moments where I thought that I was maybe going off track. The angels, your ancestors, God above has a way. The universe is always working and conspiring with you, especially when you found your calling. The next thing is you sense ease. And so what I wrote here is that in the face of the obstacles that you're dealing with, such as doors of suspected opportunity that are shut tight, or relentless struggles that are impeding the course that you thought was the right course for you, it can be hard to tell if your commitment is just being tested or if you've actually veered off course. And I know I have thought that. I thought, did I get this right? Is this the right way that I should be going? Is this the right thing that I should be doing? So it is a thing that happens, guys. So do not second guess yourself, but you're just being tested. These hurdles are just part of the growth process and a part of you cultivating your inner hero, which is so necessary for the journey. You have to trust and sense the movement towards ease, which will likely have a lot of supportive synchronicities. So pay attention to the synchronicities that abound. I have had a radio show. I have links to some of those shows here on my channel, Evolve with Monette. I have written a couple of books. I pitched a couple of books, and I have not had the success that I thought I wanted, but it was all getting me ready. It reminds me of the Mamba mentality. We're practicing and we're dribbling because there's going to be a moment where it all comes together and there's this magical synchronicity and we are in the flow. I really am a huge proponent of 10,000 hours. So all of these screw ups and all of these things all add into that 10,000 hours where you become the master. Number 3, your health may improve when you found your calling. And the thing about it is cravings for either unhealthy foods will lessen or you'll feel more energetic. Old aches or pains might disappear. Chronic illnesses can fade away. When you're focused on your life purpose, old habits, if you're smoking, if you're drinking, if you're drugging, whatever your vices, if you're sexing, if you're shopping, if you're eating, we all have various vices, but that may begin to get into alignment and adjustment so that you can be on a more clear path for your calling. Number 4, you feel strangely peaceful despite reasons to be anxious. I can tell you that in the last few months, I've had many reasons to be anxious, and yet I have found myself thriving. in a way that I did not imagine, in a way that I did not think I would. I have found myself at peace amongst a storm. But even if your issue isn't a major storm, you feel peaceful. Just being at home and working, some of us have found peace, right? Over the last couple months, a peace we didn't know was there. I mean, our closets are cleaner than ever, our lives are cleaner than ever, but we also have peace. So your soul longs to express what you are on earth to express, guys. And so what you are on earth to express is really when you come into your alignment, which is your calling. And your soul kind of does a happy dance, right? And everything else seems to be falling apart, and others consider you to be crazy. Been there, done that, and you will be centered into peace, relieved that you finally know what you're called to do. This is such a sweet blessing when you can be like the tree planted by the water. That's a song, a Christian-based song, like the tree planted by the water, I shall not be moved. When you are in stormy seas and energies that take you far from shore, but when you know what your calling is, you will not be unmoored. And that is the energy that I feel for you, and I want to transmute to you. Know what that calling is, because you will not be unmoored. Next, the universe will roll out the red carpet. When you're called to do what is needed for the highest good of all beings, the universe bends over backwards to hand you whatever you need. No request is too small or too big. Unexpected money flows in, and other resources just appear as you're ready, of course, and as need be. You'll know when you're on track, even if it's not quite clear, because you are moving into a direction with ease, and the resources come, and the universe is of great service to you. So I've noticed in my life that when I have cut out unhealthy things, no matter what it was throughout the years, that the universe literally swoops in with rewards right after. I'll be making some more videos talking about that, but it's so important to understand the universe is truly conspiring towards your good, even if you don't think so. If you are on your calling, and light workers, empaths, intuitives, psychics, Reiki practitioners, yogis, Buddhists, meditators, speakers, inspirational speakers, innovators, inventors, what is it that the universe is wanting to help you conspire to do? The final thing that I think is kind of amazing and very much true here on these YouTubes, people will find you. Few can fulfill a calling alone, guys, and so most of us need a tribe to lift us up. We do things, especially when they're brave and scary, and it helps so much when we have a tribe, because some of the things that we're doing as light workers are world-changing things. They're new ideas. They go against the norm. They go against what society may say, but we are still grounded and rooted in light, and that's what I want you to understand. The right people, including magic wielding mentors. My goodness, I am so blessed to have lovely editors and business managers and lawyers in my life. Things that I did not think that I would have, but here they are in all of their uniqueness, and all of them spiritually grounded. It's a blessing. And that happens. The right people were sent to me at the right times when I really needed help, and that was because the universe was conspiring. But beyond that, people will find you at the right time, but it's only if you're really courageous enough to be vulnerable about what you're being called to do. When I sit behind this camera, there is a great deal of vulnerability that my angels ask me to express. It sometimes is shocking to me and uncomfortable, but they said part of your calling is transmuting energy and healing through your words. That is what I do. And so I sit here and I find that you guys find me and show up if you're supposed to. I've met people from all over the world, and it's incredible. And that can be as simple as turning on a camera. If that's your calling, I encourage you to turn on your camera. I encourage you to follow that. But whatever your calling is, whether it's writing, whether it's speaking, whether it's not in the creative arts, what if you just want to be, I mean, I think teaching is creative, but what if you want to be a mortician? Whatever your jam is, guys, pay attention to that. Put time and energy into it. Put time and energy into it when people harass you and they make fun of you and they say you're working so much, or it's too much, or are you sure it's the right thing? I can't tell you how many ways I have been tested over the last 10 to 15 years as I really began to work in this field as a metaphysical practitioner, transitioning from a personal caterer and chef into this line of work out of corporate America. So many changes, but let me tell you what the constant was regarding my calling. It showed up everywhere I was, whether I was in a classroom or whether I was stabilizing a Beurre Blanc without xanthan gum, or whether I was helping people fix their credit. No matter where I sat, I was someone who was literally in my calling, so much so that bosses said, we can't give you a raise because you're everyone's best friend or reader in the bathroom on your lunch break. I always knew what I was supposed to do, and I didn't waver when friends made fun of me, when people left me and gossiped about me with their friends viciously, or when people rejected me. I had to stay the course. That is a sign you found your calling. Nothing could waver. When my mother questioned it until she understood, my very traditional West Indian mother, who gets not a lot of this until the last few years, when other people's parents questioned it, when people that I adored talked about me and said that it was evil. Oh, guys, the heartbreak. But sometimes when you have to find your calling, you have to proceed and push forward, and you have to do it in spite of yourself. You have to do it in spite of them. You have to do it in spite of your ego, which you will die to follow your calling. My goodness, I have just had a death to my ego. And in order to get to the place where I continue to grow to, I have to die to ego all the time, and that's something else that's not here in my list that I think is important. The death to ego, the death to the idea of what you think you should be doing and how you think it should be unfolding. We don't always get it our way. Sometimes on our journey, the universe does bop us upside the head or redirect us thusly into the right direction. But no matter what, guys, stay your course. Whether you are Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, or whether you are like the #1 garbage man in your city, stay your course. With great investment of your time and energy, you will yield without fail miraculous result that the universe, God himself, conspires to make sure you stand in. That's how you know you found your calling. All right, guys, my name is Monette. I am a professional intuitive empath. I'm so glad that we got to share some time today. So good to see your smiling faces. I hope they're smiling behind the camera. Things are starting to ease up. The world slowly is returning to our new normal. And I hope that a lot of you guys had time to meditate on what your real calling is during this amazing recess we just had. Can we look at it positively during this timeout? Now, it wasn't positive for everybody, and I don't want to gloss over the many lives lost or affected by this. But for those of us that are here on the other side, what downloads did you receive? That's important. That's what this time was about, going inside. So good to share some energy with you today. Sip and share. It's so good to share some energy with you guys today. I want you to come back and join me, and we will continue to evolve together.